Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of In the Kitchen. We're so excited to have you back. Well, yeah, we're excited about the show, but we weren't excited with this week's results.
Yeah.
With some results in the NFL. Yes, we will be talking about the NFL, just the NFL, well, a little bit of F1, but mainly NFL today, week 3. We're going to talk about a little bit of, what are we talking about? The Buccaneers.
Bucks.
I'm sorry, the Jags versus the Tennessee Titans, and what a disaster that was. Which one was the other one?
We were going to go with the Bills.
Oh yeah, the Bills and their upset, which I do not think it was, but we'll get to that right now. And we're gonna go last but not least, who had a rougher start to start the season, the Cowboys or the Patriots. So we'll go ahead and start with the first topic.
I say we start with the Jags and just kind of get that horse beat down and done with.
So what happened, Taylor? What do you think happened with Blake Bortles and your Blake Bortles that's a Cam Newton and that's like a Dan Prescott? The next thing you're gonna say is a Tom Brady too. So what happened
he's not a Tom Brady.
What happened that they beat a team like the Patriots in dominating fashion, and then come out the next week and score only 6 points? What happened?
I don't know. Okay, so I'll point it out there. I was on set doing a paid gig for y'all that don't know. I do audio stuff and everything, production audio for Red Twit and on my own. I was on set all this past weekend. So unfortunately, I did not get to see any of the games. However, I did see the scores, highlights, that sort of thing. Got acquainted as best as I could. And from what I understand, that game, that was an all-kick game. Not a single freaking team scored 1 touchdown. They got it all with long field goals, no touchdown field goals, 3-pointers, the whole game. And
imagine being the fans in those stands.
God, I couldn't. I was like,
frustrated that must have felt.
I saw that score and I saw it in between breaks on set while like seeing the quarters go by and kind of keeping up with the live score, and I was just like, I'm kind of glad I'm not watching this game right now. To be brutally honest, because that would have been what basically I boiled it down to is it was one of those games that like the first team to score an actual touchdown probably would have won the game like hands down, like, or would have pivotably turned the game over.
But no one scored that touchdown.
But nobody turned a touchdown, so it was probably one of the most boring games to watch ever.
No touchdowns.
No touchdowns, only field goals. Like, come on, man. Like, that was, when I heard that, I was like, all right, it's the Jags. They just beat, the Pats. They're going up against the Bills.
No. It was against the
sorry,
Tennessee.
Tennessee. My bad.
Yeah.
Going up against Tennessee. This should be easy.
I think there's only how many field goals were scored?
There was
2, 4, 5 field goals.
9. So 9 points by Tennessee, and then 6 by.
So that's 2.
So 5.
So there's only 5 highlights for this show for that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that
like,
game.
I remember watching the video highlights of that game afterwards, and I was just like,
it's all field goals.
It's all field goals. I had more fun freaking watching the recommended videos and seeing some of the top 5 trick plays than actually watching the highlights for that game.
So this is my my opinion on that. That just goes to show that Blake Bortles ain't got it. The Jags, was it just a bad game? They were 10-6 last year. 1 game better than the Cowboys last year. The Cowboys didn't make playoffs, yet the Jags, it's the AFC.
I mean, yeah, it could be a bad game, maybe not. I don't know. It ultimately boils down to is that was a game of defense.
It was a game of defenses, which shows either the Tennessee Titans defenses is one of the top 10 in the league. One of the top 10 in the league, or the Jags offense is just really, really crappy. I think
you're gonna beat me with that bat all day, aren't you?
I think that second part is more true than the first part. I'm sorry. That's just my take on it.
All right. So
Okay, that's enough.
That's enough of the
With
Jags
the
game.
crappy game.
Let's talk about.
We're the only ones to talk about it. I bet you. Nobody else talking about it. Nobody else talking about it. I bet you. We're the only ones talking about it. We're the only. Okay, let's go to
the Bills.
Yes, the Bills. That's what we were going to talk about. The Bills versus
the Vikings.
Minnesota Vikings. Okay, I'm going to go right off the bat and say Josh Allen. Is it Josh Allen?
I think so.
Okay, if it's
I'm
not
not
Josh
too
Allen,
familiar
guys,
with-
you know, I got a kid,
with
I got a
the-
full-time job, I can't remember. Anyway, Josh Allen, they start this rookie, and they blow out the Minnesota Vikings, who played in the NFC Championship, dominated with their defense all throughout last year, and they can't stop a rookie.
Yeah.
I think
Kind of looks like reverse Vikings of last year, right?
I think this rookie is the real deal for the Bills. You know, I think they found their guy. Is he a one-hit wonder? I don't think so. The way he was playing, I saw the highlight reels. It was going in and out. I didn't get that game in my area, but it was going in and out. You know how they do it. They go in and out of games, in between games, you know, score alert, whatever, highlight check. Dude, this guy was flying out there. He dove, he ran. He looked like a Michael Vick, but he's not as athletic as Michael Vick. But he stood in the pocket and threw better than Michael Vick. And I'm like, this guy's running, this guy's throwing, this guy's, you know, staying in the pocket, being patient. I'm like, man, those first 2 weeks really did him well sitting on the bench then. Another thing, props to Baker Mayfield, man. I love what he did coming in and just, you know, his first pass in the NFL was a completion. It was about a 10-yard completion. It was a bullet to his tight end, I think. And he just took over the game after that, you know. Took over the game with his arm. He didn't score any passing touchdowns, but took over the game with his arm. Anyways, so back to this other rookie. Josh Allen, I think is his name. Number 17, that's all I know. I don't think it was an upset, especially if this kid keeps playing like this. Originally I call him kid because I'm a little older than him, I believe. But if he keeps playing, it's just not an upset because while the team's gonna continue to do this good, how can a defense, the Bills defense, stop what's supposed to be a efficient, you know, oiled machine offense that the Vikings have, especially with their new $60 million guaranteed quarterback Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
You guys could have just kept Case Keenum for a less price, and I think y'all would have still been 2-1. But either way, it was not an upset, especially if Josh Allen keeps playing the way he played yesterday, because that was his first game in. The first two games were with who? Sam Bradford, I think, injury prone. Dude,
Yeah.
You got benched.
I mean, I'm glad that the Vikings shelled him. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Sam Bradford. I mean, he's been bouncing around. I think you're gonna be a good mentor for a lot of these guys. So I mean, just hang on the bench, make your money, get your game checks, and I think you'll be fine. But
I mean,
I don't think it was an upset. You think otherwise?
I mean, I could see it as an upset. To an extent.
One more thing, I'm sorry before you go there. It's only the third week of the season.
Exactly, and that I'll agree with. But
Well,
I was going to make the point that also you can kind of contribute this in a way, I guess, as the Bills quote Minnesota miracle. You know how Minnesota did that miracle pull off last year and everything. I think this is the Bills like Minnesota miracle. Just in reverse, the hot rookie and everything and all that good stuff, and sure they kicked.
That's a good one.
They kicked a night. I mean, not to say that it could have been against any team, not just Minnesota. This could have been the Bills versus freaking the Pats or whoever, big team. And went out, and you could say the same thing. It's an upset. It's an upset. It's an upset. Is it what I was reading in articles, saying that it was the upset of, 20-something freaking years? I don't know. But is it like what the Vikings looked like last year and what they did with their miracle in the playoffs and stuff like last year? Sure. But, as we all know, the the Vikings didn't make it to the Super Bowl, and they had one big miracle game, and then went.
Well, that miracle game went to the NFC Championship. They're one game away from the Super Bowl. That's a lot better.
Sure.
But you can't compare that to. I mean, I guess.
I'm just saying, like,
if Josh Allen gets his team in the playoffs, that was no fluke, and that was no upset.
Like I said, still week 3, and that's if he gets them to the playoffs.
Well, we'll see what happens with that. Now, last topic of today, it will be who's had the roughest start, the Cowboys or the Patriots? Cowboys are always talked up every year as if, they won the Super Bowl last year. But hey, it's the Cowboys. You gotta do what you gotta do, and y'all hate, and I love. You just keep talking about my Cowboys. Or the Patriots, another team that will be just as much as hated, or if not just as much as hated already as the Cowboys, they will be in a few years. Especially when Brady, decides to step away from the game, or from the Patriots, which looks, I think Brady will leave. This is not the question, but I think Brady's going to leave Patriots before he retires. Anyway, the question is, who's had the roughest start? Cowboys or Patriots? And why? Go.
I mean, they've both had difficult losses on both ends. Pretty embarrassing losses on both ends. But I guess to not seem as biased as humanly possible, and my heart hurts to say this, but I'm gonna have to say Dallas. They've had a bad, out of all the games that they should have won every single one of these games. They were the favorite in every single one of their games so far, up to week 3. They had the top stats, the top everything. With the Pats, I feel like their matchups were a little bit more, even drive, like with the Jags. And who did they play this past week?
The Pats.
The Pats, yeah. Who did they play?
Detroit.
Okay, they
Detroit.
should have probably won that one. And their first game was
Houston.
Houston, and they beat the Houston.
But Houston 0-3.
So,
keep going. This is your time, though. Keep going.
So I'm like, okay, you week 1 Pats, you beat a crappy team, and then you had a relatively difficult team, that you went up against the playoffs. So, and then you had another crappy team. Dallas has had 3 crappy teams in a row. And they've only beat one of them. So, with the favorite to win all 3 of them. So I have to honestly say, just by stats and statistics and team matchup, I have to say Dallas probably had the rougher start. Like their start to the season looks like poo, and that's coming from a Dallas fan.
Okay, before I respond, I'm gonna respond. Before I answer the question, I'm gonna respond to a few things you said. The Cowboys were not favored in every game. Maybe in some places, but Carolina, pretty tough.
I'm not gonna lie,
and their defense only held them 16, and they only lost by 8, 1 score. Giants, I don't think.
At least this year.
Giants, they weren't favored against the Giants, and everybody was leaning towards the Giants. Cowboys came out on top. Seahawks, I do agree that yes, the way the defense had been playing the last 2 weeks, holding Cameron on 16 points, 0 touchdown passes, holding Eli Manning to a garbage time touchdown pass only. Yeah. And then week 3, after what you see with the Seahawks the Monday night before against the Chicago Bears, and just completely, just crapped all over themselves on the field and looked like crap. Russell Wilson just scored a freaking touchdown in garbage time. You make me lose by 0.5 points in fantasy. Anyways, and so he had 6 sacks that game? Russell Wilson got sacked 6 times. That Bears defense looked like it was going to win the Super Bowl this year against the Seahawks. And so with what you've seen the last 2 weeks of the Cowboys, you would think, that so they weren't favored in every game. They were favored against the Seahawks, and they just blew all that up. But I don't think they had a rough start. Why they lost by 1 possession first game. They win the second game, and then they lose by 11 points in the third game. To me, eliminate some of the mistakes. Offense, do your freaking job. Get to your assigned spots and catch the ball. And give the ball to Zeke Elliott. Please, Cowboys.
And
I have to go with Patriots at the rougher start. Why? Because you lose in dominating fashion to the Jags. In dominating fashion to the 0-2 Detroit Lions. And the only win you have is against an 0-3 team.
that's why I say they have a rougher start.
They're one. No, you said Cowboys.
Sorry. They have the Cowboys have the rougher.
I'm going Patriots. Cowboys are losing by 1 possession games. You know, like basically, Patriots are losing by 2. Like, what is it? Patriots aren't used to this. They're not used to all these things coming out in the media, you know, between Bill Belichick's relationship. I feel what's happening to the Patriots this year is what happened to the Spurs last year. All of a sudden, all these stories started coming out. Like, if they're, like, all of a sudden, they're the Los Angeles Lakers. Everybody just wants to know all about what they eat, you know, when they pluck their nose hairs, when they shave their butts or something, you know. And the Patriots just aren't used to it. I don't know if don't know how to deal with it, don't know what's happened. You know what I'm saying? Because Gronk threatened to retire when they told him, hey, we're probably gonna trade the Lions. We're about to do it. He's like, you know what? And he said, Brady's my quarterback. I get the loyalty, you know, to your quarterback, but it's like, man, you know, don't be too loyal. It's the NFL. So, well, I guess that's why he threatened to retire, because, you know, he understands the situation. But I think the Patriots have the rougher start. Have they had a start like this before? Yes. Have they gone on to the Super Bowl in the same season? Yes. But Brady's older. He won the MVP last year, I get it, but he's older. And the stories that have been coming out, if they're even a smidge true about between Brady and Belichick, you know, Belichick wanted to bench Brady or get rid of Brady, and Brady wasn't having it. The only reason it's worked is because it's been Belichick's, you know, the way he coaches, and it just, I think the Patriots have had the rough start.
I feel like they had a good matchup against the Jags.
No, they did not. It was a dominating win.
Well, I mean, it was a dominating win from the Jags, sure. I'm not gonna say that, not say that. But they were, I don't know. I feel like the Dallas games have been more disappointing to me, loss-wise than.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because your heart.
And maybe that's a bias.
Because your heart is in it. That's why it's been more painful. But hey guys, that does it for us here in the kitchen. I'm gonna let this guy.
Well, you're forgetting one more thing.
You do it.
I wanted to.
No, it does not do it for us here in the kitchen. We still got one more thing to go.
One more thing. I wanted to smack some quick flash, some quick, snappy news for the F1, and give everybody a quick update on one of my other favorite sports of the year, and just say my man Lewis Hamilton is on top right now. He got a 281 points.
Excuse my son, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, please excuse his son. It's okay. But yeah, my man Lewis Hamilton is spanking that booty.
Well, where's Sebastian at?
Oh, Sebastian Vettel. Oh, he's in number 2 with 241.
Okay, he's still there. He's still right there.
He's 40 points behind, and I'll let you know right now, Sebastian Vettel, he could easily be up there like we were seeing last year at the end of the season with those guys.
I've heard about a few mistakes
with those guys freaking, duking it out last year. There was a point where at the end of last season that Sebastian Vettel, if he had gotten all of his race wins at the end of the race, he could have won by 1 point. He is not looking like that this year. He has made way too many mistakes, some very bad ones, and yeah. Number 3, Mr. Kimi Räikkönen. He's at 174, just behind his teammate. And then Bottas is catching him, catching Kimi, which is Hamilton's teammate. Very quickly, they're only 3 points behind. So Kimi Räikkönen's at 3 with 174. Valtteri Bottas at 171. So those guys are very much duking it for that third place spot. And then other than that, we didn't have a race this season. We've been kind of having, every alternating weeks now after the summer break. But we do have Russia coming up, which is one of the newer tracks, I believe, for this season. Yes. So I don't really know much about it. Haven't really looked much into it. Might need to do that. But from what I have heard, should be an interesting race. It's gonna be cold and everything out there.
I'm excited for everyone to show up to here to Austin. Like Bruno Mars, Britney Spears gonna be here.
Dude, we gotta team up on October. We gotta team up. I tailgated it last year. I'm tailgating it this year. We gotta do it. And heck, I might even have some of my own brew for it. So,
snap! This guy's brews his own beer, ladies and gents.
So we might have my own brew for it. But yeah, we're gonna tailgate that, and I hope you join me and everything for it. So it should be good.
Lead us out.
But yeah, so everybody, y'all have a good day and everything, or good evening, or whatever time of the day it is for you. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff here at YouTube. Follow Red Twit Entertainment here at YouTube, Facebook, all that good jazz. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at @1n_th3_kitchen. And
that does it for us.
That'll do it for us. Y'all have a good day.
Awesome.